It's a sad day in the motorcycle world whenever we lose a beloved model, and today looks like it's one of those days because Indian is starting to ramp down production on the FTR 1200. This is a motorcycle that's been around since 2019. It's one that we've gotten to test, and it's one that we, as well as a lot of other journalists and customers, have really enjoyed over the last several years. So in this video, we're going to talk about the FTR 1200 and a little bit of what Polaris, the parent company for Indian, has said about it. Now, Polaris's 2024 financial reports have just come out, and what the company said is, and this is a quote from them, the company realized certain costs associated with the wind down of the FTR product line beginning in the fourth quarter of 2024. So it sounds like we're already starting the process, or Indian is already starting the process of ramping down production on this bike. So they are still available. You'll still be able to go to the dealership for a little while and buy a brand new FTR 1200, but that time is going to start to come to an end. Now, ever since 2019, again, this has been a staple motorcycle in Indian's lineup because it's very different from what a lot of people expect from the typical American V-twin bike. It's not just the average everyday cruiser. This is a motorcycle that was built and designed as a little bit of a nod to the FTR 750 race bike from Indian, which is a fairly successful race bike. In this flat track style, this FTR 1200, even on the street and even not being the actual race bike, is still really striking and a really fun ride. So it's got a 1203cc liquid-cooled V-twin. It's been the same for a little while. 120 horsepower, 87 pound-feet of torque, which is plenty enough for it to be a lot of fun on the straights. It is a little bit on the heavy side. So the standard model of this bike is around 514 pounds. And some of the higher trim models, even the carbon models, are a couple pounds heavier. So definitely not the lightest motorcycle in the world, but you can still eke pretty good lean angle out of them. They've got some good suspension options. You can actually, on some of the higher end models, even get fully adjustable Olin suspension. It's got inverted forks, Brembo brakes, dual discs in the front, ABS, some decent technology, and rider aids and everything. Not the cheapest bikes in the world. The standard model starts at $13,500, and some of the higher end models can close in on about $20,000, depending on how many of the goodies you get. There's a couple cool different versions of it, like a Super Hooligan version done with Roland Sands. It's all pretty cool stuff. But again, it's just a fun motorcycle to ride because you get some of that V-twin character and that V-twin torque and excitement, but in a motorcycle and in a frame and with suspension that can still actually do some handling. And it's such a cool and unique thing that I think in a big way, it likely helped inspire Harley-Davidson to turn the Sportster into what is now the Sportster S. Also kind of in that flat track style, another motorcycle that we really enjoy. But in a lot of ways, this FTR 1200, as far as components and being an actual performance bike, even though the Sportster S is fast, this FTR might have it beat. So this is a motorcycle that we're definitely going to miss having around, and there's no word yet on anything around a replacement for this bike because, again, Polaris has had sales not the best that they've ever seen. Sales, it sounds like, have been down a little bit. And so whether they're going to start development on an FTR anytime soon is unclear. It doesn't seem super likely that that's something that they're currently working on. Although, if those of us in the motorcycle community can make a big enough hoopla about it, then perhaps at some point in the future, they will come out with another FTR because I think this is a forward-looking motorcycle that appeals to younger riders and is something that people are going to continue to want. Apparently, sales are not enough for them to keep it around, so who knows? Who knows if maybe the market just isn't there? I just have a hard time imagining that that's the case. So that's really it so far. We just wanted to do a little video to mention the send-off of this FTR 1200, bring people's attention to it. Again, there are still some of these bikes brand new out there that you can go get if it's something that you want to have before it's not available brand new from the factory. So definitely keep that in mind. If this is a bike that's on your radar for something to buy, it'll be one less option that we've got for a cool American V-twin bike that you can actually take around a turn at pretty decent speed. And these bikes also had a lot of cool customization options. So it's a motorcycle that we enjoyed a lot when we had it here at the office. Now, I also want to mention in this video our sponsor, Rider Justice. This is a company that we've been working with for a long time because they're really easy to work with. And Scott and the team over there, they've been awesome over the last couple of years. So if you ever need legal representation, either on 2 wheels or on 4, be sure to call Scott first. Those folks are great. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Is it a good thing? Does it make sense that the FTR is going away? Is this a bike that's going to be missed? I kind of think that it will be, and I hope that at some point down the line, and hopefully not too far from now, we see a replacement for this motorcycle, whether it's under the FTR name or not. A more upright, naked, and fun handling V-twin bike is always something that's on my radar for a good bike to ride. That's all for this video, and we'll see you in the next.